Why are hotspot businesses profitable? In this lecture, we're going to look at why the hotspot business right now is a profitable business. And there are three main reasons. The first one is growing demand for internet. The next one is low startup costs, and then recurring revenue. So starting with growing demand, when you check here on the growing demand on internet, it says, according to, I'm saying here on Google, 5.4 billion users as of 2024. There's an expansion of that. They need internet for different things, digital service delivery and many other things. But the key drivers for this growth, there's digital transformation, remote work. Remember, after COVID, there was increase for internet. Video streaming content is now streamed on the internet. Some of the major players who are on TV can attest to this because their businesses are being affected. Mobile and 5G expansion, where mobile internet exceeds now 4.1 billion subscriptions. People are starting to use IoT, Internet of Things, and smart devices. And then now the one which I really found interesting here is, let's see, emerging markets. The next billion users are expected to come from 11 countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. That speaks volumes. That shows you that the hotspot business has a future. You can be among the pioneers. You can be the ones to solve that problem by providing a hotspot business. There's some other statistics here. Asia Pacific has 41% of global internet user share. Middle East and Africa, increased consumption of 19%, and increased penetration of 19%. Then we have now Starlink, which is coming up, that is going to produce really unique opportunities. Because right now, which points to point two. Actually, let me even go to point two when I talk about this. Low startup cost compared to the ISP. Now, we have to check this. This is very important. You see now, for MTN to bring internet, a service provider to bring internet, they cannot deliver to every single home. It is impossible because the cost would be astronomical. So the best they can do is offer data bundles using their masts. 4G now, even 5G has not penetrated very well. The cost of maintaining masts throughout the country is astronomically expensive. And that is why they cannot deliver to people in their homes as well as a hotspot does. And that is where you come in. You're like, let's say you're selling sodas. Let's say soda. The one that makes the soda, let's say, it's not for, just let's say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola does not come to your door to sell a soda. It's a process, a logistics process. It comes from the factory to the authorized dealers. From the authorized dealers, it comes to your local stockist or your depot. From the depot, it comes to the retail shop. Then you buy from the retail shop. Now, in this case, as for MTN or Airtel, all these carriers, they were jumping that step and going directly to the customer, which is okay, but it proved to be more expensive. So with this advantage, that is where you come in. You put your fiber and buy your internet, and then you redistribute it, like how we had looked earlier at the hotspot business in the previous lecture. You distribute this internet across many users. And now, with the coming of Starlink, especially here in Africa, because it can access areas where the current carriers cannot, that presents a very unique opportunity, especially if you combine it with solar power. Imagine going to a deep remote village, you're connected to Starlink, and you're running off solar. That is something you could look at. Put something at your home area, your village, when Starlink comes up. As in Uganda, we are not yet. I think there's certain negotiations that are going on as of recording of this video, of this lecture. But soon I think it will be rolled out, and that will introduce a new opportunity for hotspot business. Now the last one is recurring revenue. Any business model where you have recurring revenue is a very good business model. For example, the internet you pay at home, you pay every month. That's recurring. There are many services, bills, utility bills, you pay every month for access to that service. So the way Hotspot is set up, if someone uses, they buy a voucher or they use the internet for some time, the utility ends. Then they come back for it again, and they keep buying and they keep buying and they keep buying again and again and again and again. But the hotspot business is set up in such a way that psychologically in the customer's mind, it is a steal. Remember, they have been accessing 175 megabytes of data for 1,000 shillings. Now for that same 1,000, which they consume in minutes, now for that same 1,000 shillings, they can access the whole day. High quality internet, like the person who purchases, in Uganda it costs 100, the cheapest is 100 to 130 to about anything, maybe 200,000 shillings to get 10 megabits per second, to get 60 megabits per second. But this is a lot of internet. What are you going to use it for? Gaming? What are you going to use it for? Gaming? No. Use it for business. Sell it to people by using a hotspot business. And that is how a hotspot is profitable. In the next lecture, we are going to look at some success stories and case studies. Of course, I'm going to share mine and how I was able to set up the business and make it successful. Thank you. Let's meet on the next lecture.